Nice, we're rolling. Let's get this show on the road. What's up, YouTube? What is up, Team Real Deal? Let's get this show rolling. Let's get this bad boy sent out. That wasn't it. Copy that. To the boys and girls in Telegram. And the boys in Discord. What is up if you're just hopping on? My name is Zach. Welcome to Trading the Afternoon Session NYSE Close. It is 2:32 p.m. Eastern. Going to be looking at NQ on the 5-minute and the 1-minute chart, seeing what opportunities we might get as volume and volatility sometimes comes into the market towards the last hour of the trading session. If you got any questions, ask them in the chat. I've got two charts side by side. Again, this is NQ, NASDAQ. In the CFD market, this would be NAS 100. I've got the 5-minute chart over here. I've got the 1-minute chart over on this side. I am logged in to my TradeOvate account to be able to trade directly through TradingView. I've got a P&L up in the corner from TradeOvate. You can see all that will coincide if and when I start taking trades. Nice morning, honestly. We had quite a bit of a sell-off, really, from market open. If we check this out on the 5-minute and the 1-minute, you could see price was starting to push up in pre-market towards market open. We wicked down. This is overnight 2 a.m. sometime, around 2 a.m. For me, and then it crawled all the way back up, and then since then has just continued to drop. So some nice trades in here, some small wins, small losses. Ended up pretty positive on the day. I got a couple different accounts rolling, so you can see the total P&L on this one is at 100. I've bounced around between the few based on how I'm trading, when I'm trading, where they are, whether it's eval, whether it's live, all that fun stuff. So if I'm doing my analysis, I won't go through my entire analysis as far as how I mark up the session. If you guys want to see that, somebody let me know. If I look at where we're at right now on the 5-minute, coming back onto the charts again, I dropped off pretty early today after some nice trades. We sold off pretty hard, came right down into the zone that I had marked from. Let's jump out to the 5-minute on one chart so we can see this. Yeah, there's the 5-minute. Got some other tools down at the bottom. I'll talk about that as well. I got to change the colors. I don't like the red and green. It's messing me up. It's going to be bad luck. So these, if I pull out to the 1-hour chart, that's where I got this zone from. Just another set of lows on the way down into no man's land here with nothing to the left. So we've got, I'm sorry, it's this set of lows right here. That makes more sense. That's where we tapped, came down into this, we can call it order block, supply and demand, support and resistance. If you've been on here before, I don't care about making things super complicated or sounding like I'm the smartest person in the room. I don't give a shit whether I sound smart or not. I just care what my P&L looks like over a large number of trades. So came down, tapped into this zone here. We got a little bit of a reaction, a little bit of a push back up. A candle that came all the way back up near the high in the close of the prior 1 hour. Didn't break it. Kind of reacting off that area now. Cleared up somewhat of a gap, but didn't really tap all the way back into these lows up here. If I start dropping down to the 15-minute, we can see that a little bit clearer. This is still kind of unchecked here, but we've dropped down and then since pulled back up, and now we look like we're staging this continuation to the downside here. If I look on the 5-minute chart at my preference, really I like to look at the 5-minute and then for structure and, price action and entries, and then the 1-minute I like to just stare at and give myself a heart attack. This is prior day stuff marked up. That's what this is over on the side. Levels, this is the daily candle, high of the daily candle, low of the daily candle. It was a very small indecision body on the daily candle. And then I've got pre-market high and pre-market low. That's what that PM is. just so I can know where we're at kind of in the grand scheme of things. Some horizontal levels, nothing special about these. Again, just from highs and lows, areas of volume, but we've got quite a bit of trading right here. You can see quite a bit of trading all over this session. Really, this is kind of an evenly spread volume profile. But again, we're kind of on our way back down. It looks like we want to continue back down towards the lows. Let's see if we start to break this. Maybe we get a break and retest where we decide to take a short, but this is looking pretty bearish right now. Really looking at this to the downside here. Let's go back and throw my side-by-side chart. 1 minute, 5 minute. Cool. Is my face blocking too much of this? I don't know. What's up, guys? Good to see you. Good to see you. Relaxing Zen. King, what's up, guys? Good to see the familiar faces or names back on here. So I'm going to hang out. Again, this looks like it wants to come down. Very bearish, following the overall trend of the day. You know, looking for sells looks like the right thing to do. We're really below every important level. If we start to push down below all of this and this level that, you know, I had marked off, wasn't really respected here, but if we kind of continue down, this will look very bearish to me and could be good for some short-term sells. So I think it's likely to continue down. You know, this was its move up. We stopped doing that. We kind of failed, came all the way back down here. I'll just wait to see if it wants to fake out to the downside and then continue its move up. You know, maybe this is going to be the start of an uptrend. You know, that's always a possibility, or if it just wants to come all the way back up here. But we're going to trade price action, market structure. We're going to mix in a little bit of volume and use our nice discretionary horizontal levels. No magic, nothing super special, nothing super complicated. That's the way I like to keep my trading. Hey, new here. What's up, man? Good to see you. I think, you know, most people that join on are newer, but been doing this now pretty consistently. So I'm starting to see the same regular criminals on here, which is cool, man. I love to have that community. Like to have some consistency with, you know, people we're talking to, guys that can kind of see my style and, you know, my trading over the long run. They don't just catch, you know, one winning, you know, nice day or one terrible losing day. You know, that's what happens. I'm doing this stuff live, P&L, trading straight from TradingView. So you're going to see the wins, you're going to see the losses, the good, the bad, the ugly, the pretty, you know, the whole deal. So it's nice when you get, you know, a little bit more of a sample size to be able to judge a trader. Again, market conditions change. You know, we get different days. You know, just how I perform changes. You know, all these different things come into play. So I'm gonna wait to see what we get. Again, we came down and look on the 5 minute, kind of a nice wick to the downside. Just paying attention to price action and market structure again. I want to see some closure below this area and continuation down. On the 1 minute, it would look like a turn from this area and continuation down. I wouldn't mind seeing a nice wick up, maybe here, or even we wait and we come up here and then we start to come down. That would even give me more confidence that it took out all of the sells that got in down around this area, and now we're ready to come down. So we'll kind of see what we get from here. I'm going to take the volume off this 1 minute chart. This is a little bit messy for me. So this is delta and cumulative delta. Since coming into futures, let me preface this. Before futures, I traded Forex for, you know, a pretty long period of time, spent an enormous amount of time on the charts, and I really got comfortable with naked trading, nothing on my chart, just price action and horizontal levels, marking them up with lines, with zones, you know, whatever. If I want to draw an arrow, I'll draw an arrow, no big deal. Since coming into the futures market, where volume is available, because the brokers that I traded with, first off, no volume available. U.S. regulated brokers, a lot of them don't have volume for the major pairs, so that's just what I got used to. I didn't want to use volume from another broker because I knew that they varied. It wasn't as reliable. It's kind of broker by broker. In the futures market, it's a centralized market. The price, the data that everybody is getting is the same to a degree. And it's a centralized, well-regulated market. The volume is, accurately reported, or it should be accurately reported, but it's consistent. Everybody's looking at the same volume. So I've found that another interesting piece of data, a tool to be experimenting with. So, I'm not dead set on any of the stuff that I've messed with volume. I may or may not keep it today, tomorrow, might be all gone, after that. But I'm just telling you guys kind of as I go, always looking to expand, not add shit to my chart, not add indicators to try to get this better win rate. So don't mistake that. Early on, guys get really like in search of the Holy Grail. There's a lot of different ways people talk about it. Obviously, we're pushing up here, so I'm just going to wait to see what happens. I'm not ready for a buy. We got some volume, some volatility coming in. Big bullish candle on the 5-minute, multiple bullish candles on the 1-minute, pushing way up. So glad I waited for this deal here. We may be looking for a different direction here shortly. But I'm just going to wait to see what happens. Coming all the way back up. Maybe it does want to trail back into the pre-market range. It's approaching it right here. Just going to wait and see. But I'll shorten the big spiel. I don't like a lot of shit on my charts. I think most guys that have a whole bunch of stuff on their charts, it's not helping them. I think they're confused. They're trying to get 20 different confluences or pieces of data, and you can get that almost all from price. Volume has been interesting, so I've been looking at different tools, different indicators, just different ways that it is represented, and to find something that may or may not be able to help me. So this is delta and cumulative delta. This is expressed on each individual bar. It's showing the buying and selling, the buy or sell, who has control essentially, the buyers or the sellers, the volume of buys and sells as it goes. And then cumulative by bar, by each individual bar, like intra-bar. Cumulative delta is adding it into a total for whatever the anchor point is. For this, it's a day. So you can see it change as the day goes on. As more selling goes on, it continues down. But this can be interesting to see. Again, volume is interesting to see because you can have different types of candles, different sizes of candles, different trend movements, and the volume, the actual amount of trading, buying and selling done within that candle can vary. So, I haven't found something that's wonderful to look at or really easy for me to interpret quickly. I have been trying to pay attention more to order flow and, just see what edge, if any, I can pull from that type of data. And, this has been interesting. The delta has been interesting to look at this morning and in back testing, cumulative delta as well. I've got VWAP on here. I've got the standard volume, and I've got the session volume profile. Again, most of which I don't really find extremely helpful, but I've been paying more attention to see if I can, gain the advantage from using these tools. But again, for me, for most people, and I like to stick by that, less is more. Naked charts, probably the way to go. Focus on market structure, focus on price action, learn to read the chart, take the training wheels off, get rid of the 37 indicators on your chart that's telling you everything that price is telling you. Indicators are only going to be built from price, time, and volume for the most part. So you can look at price, you could look at time, you could decide for yourself. Volume, you can see, within the size of candles to a degree and the types of candles, but there is a level of volume that you really can't see. That's why there's volume itself that's just reported. So but yeah, I've seen a lot of guys mess with delta and cumulative delta in the futures market. I started looking at it a little bit more. I've kept my charts pretty clear of it until today, but it's been interesting to watch. So coming back up to the low of prior day low, the pre-market low, and the VWAP line, which I don't pay too much attention to this late in the day. It gets increasingly more lagging in my opinion. as time goes on. But we're really staging a deeper pullback here. This looked like it just wanted to be a nice pullback, not really breaking too much of this trend here, and then continuation down. But obviously we have not gotten that. We've ticked back up pretty nicely with this big bar. Let's see what we got for news. Anything? 2 p.m. we had orange folder. 5:30 p.m. we have USD orange folder. So nothing crazy. Let's just look at fundamentals. Anything crazy coming in the news? Jerome Powell's not speaking. No, we look okay. So nothing really we got to be super worried about right here. Remove motion, stay consistent, embrace losses, be normal when winning. I am getting there. Good, man. That's all sound things you just named there. Very important, every single one of them. Do you rely on those or just use them as a visual idea, not even a confluence? I know you don't use any indicators. Yeah, I don't rely on these at all for a confluence or really anything else. Again, for me, it's more of like just the testing experimentation phase with anything I have in my charts. It's more of I'm going to make whatever decision I'm going to make based on price action, market structure, horizontal levels, trend, the reading of price action itself. And for now and for the past few weeks, as I've been messing with volume, I'm just more paying attention to the different volume tools and how they're reacting as I'm making, whatever decision I'm making. So no, I'm not relying on any of these for really confluence or an indication of something to happen or predicting the market. None of the stuff that I use or really any technical analysis has a very strong predictive ability. It's good for marking up your chart, being able to structure risk, maybe leveraging, some small edge of things like trend and market structure, but mainly being able to structure risk in a favorable way. Nothing in my opinion is going to tell you for certain which way the market's going to go. Not a damn thing. And again, most indicators in general are telling you what price is already doing in a lagging form. Maybe having one or two is visually appealing. The way the data is represented, on a graph or a histogram or a line is easier for you to interpret. I can recognize that. But for the most part, it just adds another layer of decision making and reading that I don't think is necessary. I think if you can wean yourself off of it, you'll be much better off as a trader with naked charts. I think you'll find most professional traders, most profitable traders, very, very few indicators, if any. Many of them, zero indicators, nothing. You'd look at my chart and say, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing with all this stuff on his chart. But in lieu of some of the other order flow tools that are available, I'm looking at some of this stuff just to start to see how volume plays a role. Break up above this high right here on the 5-minute. Nice market structure coming down to retest. Maybe going to come all the way down to this area where we would call this a level of support. An order block. It's lining up with this zone right here very nicely. Maybe not. Maybe it just wants to tap this or wherever it is right now and then continue blasting up. I'm not ready for a buy. Coming into this, obviously I'm looking for sells all day. I was looking for sells on the way down here. This area right here does not provide an ideal way to structure risk for a buy, even if I wanted to get long right now. My stop loss would kind of just be in the middle of no man's land with me, anticipating it turning right here. So I'm going to wait until we get more market structure. If we break above with some momentum and continue, I'm probably going to look for some buys. But you guys will see what I do on here. I'll enter the trade. Again, this is futures market. I'm trading contracts here on the E-mini NASDAQ. It's $5 contract. And you'll see a stop loss arbitrarily that gets entered with the order. Sometimes I drag it up or down, and then you'll see where my stop loss is, my initial stop loss is, because I do move it as price moves. Typically, I don't increase it. It's pretty rare for me to move it, farther away as I'm losing a trade. But I do move it down into break even or into profit. No wick to the downside on this 5 minute. We'll see if that wants to flip down a little bit further. This kind of come down and tap at least into this area right here. But we do have some room to run back into the pre-market range if it decides to. This is an important level that it just tapped right here. So tested as support a bit right here and pulled back up. Now being tested as resistance potentially, or it might just continue this move. So we'll see. We'll stay flexible. We won't form any harsh biases that will keep us from reacting to the market and objectively reading price action and market structure. Orange folder, so that's not important. Yeah, not important. For news, guys, I talk about news a lot. It's a pretty simple, straightforward thing to handle especially if you're a beginner. Forexfactory.com. I'm not affiliated. That's my favorite one. You can use my FX book. You could use a number of other financial sites, forex sites, and on forexfactory.com you'll see the news for whatever time frame you're in, and it will be a bunch of different colored folders. Red folder is the high impact news. That's the important stuff that you can almost guarantee will cause some impact on the market, some increase in volume and volatility. Look at that volume and volatility coming down. So you want to pay attention to those red folder news events. You can sort on forexfactory.com. You could take off, orange and yellow if you want. The gray is usually a holiday, which is also important to know about. So I usually just leave the red and the gray. When news events come around, I anticipate an increase in volume and volatility. I don't try to predict which way the market's going to go based on the news. I think that's a loser's game. Trade however you're going to trade, but be wary of the news. Be cautious of it. Know that there's likely going to be some increase in volatility. The next candle that prints at that time is likely going to be bigger than all the previous ones by a certain degree. So maybe consider reducing position size, increasing your stop loss. Maybe consider don't trading, closing out your positions ahead of time, waiting for it to cool down, and then jumping back in. Or you could just, YOLO it and go max leverage, full port. That's it. I've been making some more memes. Those do the best on social media. So, and I actually think they're funny. I like making them. Kind of get to laugh at, the market, traders, myself. So I got some funny ones coming out, or at least I think they're funny. We'll see how they do. All the way down below, the big 5 minute candle. So big push up and then a big pull back down. Sellers back in control on this one, especially if we get below this level and start pushing down. This really straight up and down price action, again, does not provide a good way to structure risk, and I'll explain that. When I'm taking a trade, I'm looking for a level where my stop loss can go that would take me out of the trade, because the likelihood of it continuing to my profit target is not as likely as when it started. When you have wide open price action like this, it makes it difficult to do. You can go above a prior bar high on the 1 minute, but on the 5 minutes even better if we look over here, and that makes for a huge stop loss. When you have price action and market structure like this, let's say price pull back up and now it's starting to come down, it breaks this low, pulls back up above these highs and now continues down. I could throw an entry right here and say, okay, I want my stop loss right above this high, because if it comes up above here and starts breaking highs, I think it's less likely to continue down. When you have this size of price action, it does make it difficult for small scalping style trades in the 1 minute, in my opinion. And that's that's an important factor here, is outside of trend, and the price action itself. What does the market structure look like? How does it allow us to structure our risk for our trade? If it doesn't make sense, even though, hey, it looks like it's headed down right now with a bunch of momentum and volume, I think it's going to continue. If you don't have a good way to structure the risk of at least that one trade, maybe it's not a good trade. So yeah, we definitely got some action here coming up on 3:00. This is still kind of dangerous. I want to see if it starts coming below this. Maybe we get something like this, something along those lines. Anything along those lines where we get a break and a pull back below all these lows. I mean, I might look for some shorts down towards the low of the day. If this is going to continue back up and break this high and keep rolling, I might look for longs, but I'm going to wait a moment till we see break below the lows or above the highs out of this area right here. Pretty candles. Yeah, what do you use to monitor or note down your trades? Well, I mean, right now I've been live recording all my stuff, so it's kind of easy. But I journal typically in a very simple way when I do journal my own trades. It's screenshots, a screenshot of TradingView before and after with the position tool. That really gives me all of the data that I need and a visual representation of my trade. And then I'll also make notes on the day as far as what happened, how it was feeling, things I could have done better, things I could have done differently. I'm a fan of stuff that you're actually going to do over really, really detailed. I used to journal with a spreadsheet, really detailed spreadsheet, taking an enormous amount of time and data, and it provides a lot of data for you. But I find that my screenshot and some small writing, maybe the risk that I took on, that type of stuff that's not immediately available from the position tool, is more than enough. And then the broker, whatever broker I'm trading with, or if it's a prop account, they provide a bunch of data. Almost always they provide a big breakdown of data. Your wins, losses, your risk to reward, your times of trades, everything, your sizing, your numbers, everything. So you've kind of got the detailed view. But the more journaling part that I think is important is visual representation of what happened before, so you know what you were looking at when you were taking the trade, and then after, so you can see how the trade played out, what actually happened, any notes on how you managed the trade, and then your overall, like, what happened, why did you get in, why did you get out, did you trade your approach, your system, your strategy effectively, did you mess up, did you do something different, how were you feeling, what happened before that, what happened after that, a couple sentences. And I think that's more than enough to start to build a book of data, in my opinion. I think simple is the way to go with this kind of stuff. And TradingView gives you, with a position tool, gives you like the scope of what happened on the chart before you enter the trade, your entry, your target, your exit. Again, you got to throw your sizing on there, your risk, and then the after effect was what happened. And then you can add, your personal experience to that. But I think that's extremely important. Yeah, extremely important, man. You could do it in any basic program that allows you to put a picture and then, basic write-up. And then maybe the only other thing I had done consistently is at the end of the week, at the end of the month, maybe at the end of the quarter, you go through all your data. You definitely want to review on a daily basis, your trades. It's a good warm-up, good, to remember what happened yesterday. But on a daily and on a monthly and weekly basis, you want to kind of create your bigger picture of what's happening in your trading. One day, a couple of trades, not a lot of data. It doesn't really tell you enough about your system, about your strategy. A week, a month, multiple months starts to give you a clear picture of how your edge is playing out in the market, how you're performing, your risk management, all of that stuff, where you could look at a bigger sample size and make adjustments. So at the end of a week, I'd go through, your own, if you did that, your screenshots and, your own little writing. What was your win rate? What was the money made, the money lost? What was your average risk to reward? What was your average win size, your average loss size? That will tell you, do you have a positive expectancy? You can start to calculate your win rate and your risk to reward, which is a very important metric, as we know. That's really going to determine, you could look at things like how many trades you took on each day. You could look at Are you more likely to take a loss after a win after a loss? If you trade, more frequently during a day, are you more likely to start losing? Those types of things are also displayed just in a basic journal, more easily displayed from, brokers or, third-party extensions of brokers that, track your trading journal. But I think a simple free way to do it is the way to go. Notes app, that's what I had used for forever. Really simple. Evernote, stuff like that. Apple's Notes, simple. Now my stuff is recorded. I could literally watch my face and my entries, my exits, every single thing that I did. Almost all of it is recorded. So if I have a question of what happened, I could just go back and watch it in real time. But that's this looks like it wants to break, man. I'm gonna give it a minute here. This looks like it wants to come down. I'm really tempted to jump into the sell. I don't want to be too early. I don't want to be caught in the fake out move. I wouldn't be taking the break because, this was the breakdown and now we got some resistance. If we wick back up and start to push down again, I'm going to go for it. Quick short and see what we can get. I'll start my trading off that way. Again, I don't love this, but I'm going to get an entry, now's the point between here and here where we would likely see the move. Yeah, some pretty big price action too. I'm going to go in light with this one first.
Order filled.
With a bigger than a 60 tick stop loss. I'm going to come up above this candle here. Short one contract, again, because I'm not so convinced that this is going to be the start of the move. But if it drops, I'd like to catch it. So I'm in it, half risk or less. This is a 69, 70, something like that. Tick stop loss. And looks like I'm going to take it right away. Again, issue with with really steep price action like this on the low time frames, very hard to structure risk. But took the sell as price is coming down, pulled down, started to pull back up, broke below all the lows again. So we got the push down. I'm trading a continuation of this trend, the trend of the day, the heading towards the end of day, the low of the day, with some nice bearish candles. Traded above prior bar high. Maybe that's all it needed to do before it continues its push down. But I'd like to see some momentum out of this thing pretty quickly, or else it's not going to look too good. But let's see, we gonna get it? Need a break below and a continuation. 5-minute chart. I'll move over so I could see what the actual candles are doing without this. No wick to the downside. That's dangerous. No wick to the upside. That's dangerous for me. I don't like that at all on the 5-minute. 20 seconds left on this one. There's some momentum. There is some momentum. Let's see where a 1-to-1 would be. 70, about 664. I'm not going to go stop loss to break even because I'm likely to be stopped out with the way this is printing. That's about my 1-to-1. I'm not going to add into this one again because I'm just not. I'm not super convinced of the price action, but I'd like to run it down to this low over here, back into this zone, somewhere down to this level right here if this continues. Again, pretty tight stop loss, trading on the 1 minute. Only so much you could do to capture some nice risk to reward. But let's see what we get. Easy money, man. Easy money. Take your profit now. That's it. Nice winning day, and we'll call it a wrap. $100, and we'll get off of YouTube. Yeah, if you've been on here before, I take stop outs. You know I take stops at break even. It's a pretty aggressive scalping style of trading. I do like to go for the bigger move. With this type of overlapping price action, I'm really not going to hold for a huge move. I'm going to close this out pretty quickly near the 1-to-1. If we continue down a little bit longer, a little bit farther a push. That's not really enough for me here. Oh. No wick to the downside on this 1 minute. I mean, this doesn't look great, but I'm going to hold for right now. I'd like to get at least below 1-to-1 for what I started with. Got to make my winners a little bit bigger than my losers, but this could easily go the other way. Again, I'd consider that a 1-to-1 hit if I had to be exact about it, but I'm going to hang on. Wicked up above prior bar high. Can we get another little dump out of this and then I'll wrap it up? Maybe. Kind of an indecision bar on the 5 minute. Again, with so much overlapping price action, I don't want to hold, from here all the way down. I'll take some nice wins on the way down. And and just keep trading, but I'm gonna hold it for right now. I'm gonna go stop loss just above these. It really increases my chances of being stopped out for a loss, but I don't want to hold past this bar high. If it comes up again, trades above all the prior bar highs on the 1 minute, I'd prefer to be out. Otherwise, I'm gonna hold it for a little bit of a dump. Come on, man, break the low. Let's see. Continue the push. That's TP1 hit. Come on, man, let's see it. Where's the momentum here? Yeah, we're not getting it. I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out, guys.
Order filled.
That's a fill right near break even. Coming back up. $45, big win. I think it's going to go down based on the 5 minute candle. Yeah, man, it's possible. I'll do what I can to trade price action and market structure. This may dump right from here. That's fine. I'm going to look for another sell as we go. But at 1-to-1, I like to move stop loss to break even if I can't. And I don't feel that, using some intuition as well, I don't feel that it's going to continue down. Maybe we get out. Again, we kind of got this push down with not a lot of wick to the upside, really wide open price action up here. It's definitely possible to wick right back up to this level on the 1 minute. If I'm looking up here, right above all of these lows that are put in before continuation down, I think that's possible. I would look for another sell after that. This very well might just dump right from here, but I'll get in and out a little bit quicker today. But I do what I can to protect capital, not let winning trades turn into losers. It's always a pain in the ass when that happens. Here's the indecision 5 minute bar closing bullish. Not a ton of volume on it. Positive delta. If we look at that, cumulative delta is kind of just coasting towards the downside. Again, this is an interesting here. I'll let you guys read it. If you're interested in indicators or any tool on TradingView and you want to read something about it, I'd recommend going right to the indicators side and then clicking on the little question mark. Gives you a nice breakdown of everything here. Volume delta indicator uses intrabar volume and price fluctuations to estimate the difference, delta, between buying and selling pressure within each chart bar, providing insight into an instrument's sentiment and market dynamics. Indicator analyzes each chart bar from an intrabar time frame inside of the bar, a lower time frame than you're actually trading on the chart. You can see that down here. If you're on this chart time frame, here's the time frame that it's using for calculation. I'm watching this 5 minute out of the corner of my eye, guys, by the way. It looks like it wants to come back down. But I'm going to finish this for a second. Categorizing each bar as positive or negative, up or down, green or red, gradually accumulates the polarized volume values throughout a chart bar to calculate the volume delta. Keeps track of the highest and lowest volume delta values achieved over the bar's duration. So again, to me, a really positive delta on a 5 minute or 1 minute bar can let you know who's in charge. You can look at it as a comparison, the delta that's been printed prior, and then cumulative delta, again, essentially the same thing. It's just adding it to the delta that it's been calculating since whatever the anchor point is, which is a day in this case. So again, another volume tool, order flow style tool. Yeah, here's the nice dump. Here's the nice move down, unfortunately, on the unfortunately for me, closing out. All good. We'll wait and see what we get from here. On the right side of the market, just played it a little bit tight on this one. Again, this kind of consolidation, instead of just a continuation down, gets a little bit sketchy, especially after a big move, without any kind of a quick pullback. Kind of got it here, which is what made me comfortable enough to get in. But this looks like it wants to go. We'll see how this 5 minute bar closes. See what this looks like on the 15 minute over here in the corner. Pretty nice gap forming. Not so much on the 1 hour. Again, I pay attention to gaps and balances. I don't really like to use any ICT terms. I don't study ICT. I don't really know. I only watched a couple of clips of that dude yelling and made fun of it on memes. But whatever works for you. But market structure, price action, just the old school stuff is really what I like. But again, I do pay attention to a big impulsive move with no price action trading back over it. If that's called a gap or an imbalance, I'll use that term because price likes to trade back over it, similar to a support and resistance zone, an area of interest on the chart. Another kind of indecision candle with a longer wick to the downside. We got a minute left on this one. On the 5 minute, I'm going to see what comes of this. But this isn't a super, nice continuation. This would have been a great trade if this just blasted down past this low. But came out green, and we're just going to wait and see. Right now, this is not super convincing. If we look at the candles themselves, they're closing somewhat bullish. We could see even here's an example of, an interesting thing to look at on Delta. If you look at this candle right here, this indecision candle, I'll move out of the way, but I'm talking about this one right here. Really not really a doji because the body's in the middle of the candle. Pretty large green delta, positive delta. If you look at the one next to it, larger candle, or the ones next to it, I should say, bearish candle, larger bodies, little bit cleaner structure, not as large delta. Maybe you could say, buyers are in control. On the 1 minute, I don't know how accurate or how much weight that's going to hold, but that's the kind of stuff I'm paying attention to when I say I have this on my chart for testing and experimenting. So this doesn't look like, it might still go, but this is a lot less convincing with these types of overlapping bars in the 1 minute. And again, really indecision bar, 5 minute bar that traded. Did it trade above? Yep, traded a tick above. A point above the prior 5 minute bar, and now we're kind of getting this pushback up. So maybe we want to come back up into this zone. I'm not taking a sell right now. I'm going to see what we get from this area. What stock is that? This is the NASDAQ. This would be NAS 100 in the CFD market. This is the NQ chart in the futures market. NQ. NASDAQ. US indice. 1 minute candle gives me PTSD. Lil, I tried to stay out of it. That's just me. Yep. Nice. We will wait to take it. I think it's going down. Yeah. 4 minute double bottom in my humble opinion. Yeah, man. I mean, you could look at different chart patterns. I take note of them. Zooming out on the 5 minute over here, taking a look just at the little bit more of a zoomed out view of all of pre-market and then today. Here we go, trading up above these 5 minute bars. I think a couple outcomes are likely here. Either this is going to be the start of a trend up, or it's just going to come up into this area like I was looking for before, not really break above these highs or too far up, and then continue this move down. I'm still looking to the short side on this. I don't like to sell into big, into decent sized buying pressure. But I'm tempted to short up in this area here, with a stop above this high. Don't know if it'll even come up here. It might just turn right from this area, because this is the area I'm looking at on the 5 minute chart. All these wicks to the downside, this is our kind of new resistance zone. If I had to draw a zone, it would be really right here where price is tapping into it right now. $15-minute, I got you. What's up? If you're just jumping on, thanks for being here. Ask any questions you got in the chat. I'll try to answer them or tell you that I don't know. Free Telegram, links in the bio, links in the description. Top Step discount. That's the prop firm, the futures funded firm, I should say, that I've enjoyed trading with since I've come over to the futures market. It's who I've liked the best so far. I'll keep you guys updated if anything on that changes, but I'm comfortable enough to put my name on it for now. Yeah, I don't know about this one. No wick to the downside. Like, I think this is going to come back down. I do. I just don't know if it's going to pop up here first. But, gun to my head, you got to take a trade right now. I'm selling. That's the read as of right now. I'm not selling until I see something else out of this price action. I'm probably not going to get a sell from this area because I'm not going to sell as soon as it comes right down here. That's okay, but not really great looking on the 5 minute chart. Trading in between bars pretty aggressively. I think it's likely to come all the way down here. I want to see how this one closes on the 5 minute in about 40 seconds. And then, again, maybe we get a little bit more of a pop up, and then I think we'll turn back down. But I'll react to price as it's printing. Don't need to know which way it's going or try to predict it. But I'd like to give some commentary while we're on here. Hanging out, trading. So, see, YouTube looks good. What's up, everybody? What's up? New 5 minute bar. 60. Yeah, here's what we wait for. Yeah, I'm gonna get it going with one contract. Again, that's my game plan. Keep risk low. We'll get some trades in. We'll have some fun without putting a lot of money on the line. I'm gonna wait to see how this reacts. I might miss it. It might just blast down, but I want to wait to see if this is just like a tap in below these lows and then a blast up. Keep me out of just an immediate stop out. But it looks like it wants to come down.
Order
I'm
filled.
gonna try it from this area. stop. Let me just measure this. Ooh, got some momentum to the downside. That's a little bit bigger than I want. I'm going to go above this level. Really just targeting these lows with a quick one contract deal. 70, that's kind of aggressive even. 76. I should just be trading big size and closing out quickly. That would work out for me. Instead of waiting for a larger move. Let's look at this. I don't want to put another position tool on my chart. That's why I do this. Yeah, right down to these lows would be a sweet trade. If it needs to come up above this high again, I'm going to be out. That'll be that, $400, something like that. But let's see. We got some momentum right away to the downside. It'd be nice if this push continued. It's making a case for it. Kind of cleared up its little gap on the 5-minute that it had, but I'm gonna wait to see if this continues. See what we get. I have zero understanding of how this contract works and ticks. In your opinion, it's better than normal forex? Yes, it's better than normal forex. I'm in the U.S. I, for a number of reasons, have been enjoying the futures market over the forex market quite a bit. Once you get used to the contract and tick sizing, which I could explain or a video could explain pretty quickly, it's really an easy transition. I'm gonna hold on a little bit longer. I'm gonna go stop loss to break even. If you've been on my last lives, I'm notorious for taking stops at break even. I want to see a push down to this level right here, and I'm jumping out. Nothing crazy. Don't need to break below the lows. Going just above this high. If it comes above, I'll take the stop out, which it looks like it might. But I'm going to hang on for a little bit longer of a trade. Again, one contract, so I'm not so worried. But if you were in any of these, you got some nice opportunity for profit. Before I'm entering or before I'm exiting. But I'm trying to hold on to make these a little bit more worthwhile. Questions while I'm about to get stopped out for break even. No wick to the downside? Come on, man. Flip. Let's give us this little push down quick.
Stop filled.
All right, stop out of break even. I still think it's going to come down, but I don't want to take a loss on it. No need. I will look into it, Zach. Yeah, man. Look at just the basics of the futures market. The simple. I could answer basic questions, but I'll turn this whole thing into a futures conversation. Crack Baby asks, how long you been trading? Like 5 years in the markets, I'd say, with the last few in forex being really, really intensive. I had I was in a bunch of different career paths, early on in my life, and then was in sales and marketing for the larger portion after school, and had been trading, mostly in stocks to start, then some crypto, then some forex. When I decided I wanted to get profitable and take forex trading seriously, I dedicated an enormous amount of time to trading. I would trade before and after working a full time. Pretty nice job. I won't go too much into detail, but I'd wake up in the middle of the night as well. That was my deal, to be able to trade, really day trade aggressively for a long period of time, focus up. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, my time, since I'm in EST, and I would trade London Open. I'd be up 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd go to bed really early. I'd work all day, trade after work, study, research, read, wake up super early, trade London. Sometimes it would be for multiple hours. Sometimes it would be for, just a few hours. I'd go back to bed and then wake up. But I would be reading every trading book I possibly could. I would be trading the markets, trading on demo, losing money, making some small amounts of money. Until I really developed my skills, my intuition, my experience, my psychology, started to really understand what it takes to make it in this business, and eventually left my career to trade full time. This is all I do. Left my my solid career, I'll say. Didn't hate my job. So that's the answer there, man. That's the answer. Somewhere around that 5-year mark, if I had to put a number on it. Yeah, some support found, push back up. Like this isn't, what the price action I wanted to see. This is why I got stop loss to break even and got out. I want to see this, if we're going to be in on the move. This shit is just not as convincing. It's not to say that, this can't turn right from where it's at here and blast down. It certainly can, and it very well may. But this type of back and forth price action on the 1 minute, if I go from the low to the high, we're talking, 60 ticks, 65 ticks. So, just is not as convincing for a quick trade. I like to wait for some form of a pullback on market structure, wait for price action to tell me that's all it needed to do. And now it's going to continue in the direction of the overall trend that I'm trading, the low time frame trend. Maybe it coincides with the high time frame trend. I'm going to wait for some candle for, hey, this is, selling pressure coming in. If I'm taking a sell, gives me an area to structure risk. I jump in with the momentum, and I want to see that momentum continue. I don't want to sit in trades on the 1 minute for an hour. That's not the idea here. I am being a little bit more aggressive, taking profits. I was only targeting this area right down here for a 1-to-1, but you don't want to start, in my opinion, unless you're going to have a really high win rate. You don't want to start taking profit at less than 1 unit of risk. At less than profit on a profit of less than what you're risking. If you are at least at a 1-to-1, you're fine with a 50% win rate. If you're over a 1-to-1, you could have a pretty abysmal win rate, which I usually do, and make a lot of money. That's just the math behind it. Futures are the best. Yeah, man, it's been good so far. I can't complain. I really have enjoyed the futures market. It's professional. The brokers are well regulated in the U.S. There's an enormous amount of benefits. Look at that, it's dumping down. So I'm on the right side of the market with all these. Just being a little bit aggressive with conserving capital. But yeah, the funding firms, the prop firms in the futures market, I think they're actually just real, they're what Forex firms are supposed to be. They're just actually doing it. The Forex stuff is just an absolute nightmare, especially for traders in the U.S. But yeah, there's a number of reasons. No spread. Commissions are very, very competitive. The ability to trade U.S. indices, which you really can't do on any U.S. Regulated Forex broker. Can't trade CFDs. They're not legal. Can't trade US 30 or NAS 100. Taxes are also different in a favorable way for the futures market. And yeah, I mean, this looks like it wants to break. I'm gonna have to wait and see. I'll probably miss it. If this does come down, I think it's gonna run. Just don't know about taking the sell right at the breakout. I think this is going to come down with some volume right now. Thinking and actually taking a trade are two different things. So my thinking it's going to come down doesn't get me paid, but I'm going to wait on this one, guys. Trying to get a little bit aggressive here, have some fun, take some trades with you guys. It gets pretty boring if it's just me yapping away and not trading, but I try not to just give back money to the markets if I don't have to. Sell from this spot doesn't look too bad. We've got a break below, a close below after this whole move, and just a continuation down. No wick to the downside on this one. I mean, this looks like it wants to come down. I'll probably try it again to have some fun.
Order filled.
Trying it with one contract from right here. I'm going to run a tight stop on this one, guys. I'd rather get stopped out for a small amount than take a full stop out. I'm playing this as a pullback right into the zone after a break below of this low and a immediate continuation down. If we don't get that, I'll get stopped out right away. Again, on the 5-minute, you can see this is a tight stop loss just above the prior 5-minute bar. But if this is going to continue, and maybe this is the snapback up it needs, we could see some nice momentum to the downside on this one. And structuring it this way, with my initial risk being 48 ticks, just over 12 points. I don't need a big move on this. It's pretty much that right there, but don't know that it's going to play. Much riskier taking trades in the opposite direction that price is pushing right then and there. You're selling into buying pressure. Look at that. That's a 1-to-1. Let's go ahead and just take profit on one of these.
Order filled.
Quick money. We'll see if this wants to continue, if it's going to mess around down here at these lows, if it's just going to put a low wick in and then blast back up. But we'll do a little bit of scalping action for you guys on here. Little bit of scalping action. What's up if you're just jumping on? We're having fun trading NQ NASDAQ futures towards the end of the day, 3:32 p.m., 3:33 p.m. Eastern. Like to see some volume, some volatility come into the market around this time. Yeah, I might take it again if this continues. We shall see. We shall see. If you got any questions, trading questions, ask them in the chat. Let me know what's up. Look at that. Back above prior bar high, all the way up. I still think this is coming down. We're getting to that time of the day, 3:33 p.m. Again, between 3 and 4, we see sometimes a lot of volume and volatility, some aggressive movements come in. A scalping mentality of taking profit somewhat quick and not holding for the home run can work. As you could see, this would have came, my stop loss was right up here, would have came almost all the way back. This now looks like, to me, it's, well, we'll see what happens on this 5-minute bar. Looks like it's trying to make a case to come up. Not really, though, man. Not really. This is obviously some support here. It, is taking too much time, just not breaking this level and headed back down towards lows. But, this structure is still a nice downtrend structure. It's not blasting above highs. Here we go with a potential another overlapping bar to the downside. I don't like to continue trading the same setup. One of these and then the big move down, it should be what it would look like if everything was going to act normally, quote unquote. If we have any kind of normalcy in the market ever, you see a nice big wick up, like one of these bars right here, and then the continuation down. This is kind of overlapping price action, so we can get some trades in here and take wins on overlapping bars that are 115, 120. Ticks, but see. Applaud you on this 1 minute time frame. Yeah, man, it's fun. It's I mean, it's the way I like to trade. If I get on the lower time frames, I like to watch the 5 and the 1. It allows you to capture small moves, makes for a lot of trading opportunities. It can certainly be frustrating. You can get stopped out a lot in a choppy, rangy market on mid to higher time frames. You're in trouble. But it makes for some good action. It makes for some good live trading, I would say. Because you get in and out of trades and people get to watch things play out nicely or not nicely quickly. But combination has been working pretty good for me. Oh boy. But yeah, if you're just jumping in, what's up? Thanks for being here. All the links in the description of this video to everything I got going on. Top Step discount, the prop firm that I trade with in the futures market. Free Telegram where I post Forex analysis, let you know what I got going on as far as free live trading like this on YouTube, trading tips, mentality stuff, everything that goes into profitable trading, and my YouTube, obviously you're here, and my Instagram. But I'll be out for the next few days. I'll be back around next Wednesday. No free live trading until next Wednesday. And then I'll be back on this 2:30 p.m. Eastern schedule for the last hour of the day. I trade the morning session on Zoom with Team Real Deals, my paid program. Really one-on-one help, one-on-one coaching, live trading every day on the main session, which is the 9:30 a.m. Eastern Open of NYSE session. Able to talk, able to share charts, able to discuss, your strategy, your approach, your mindset, have real questions answered, speaking face to face, no BS course, no BS videos, pre-made shit that you could find on YouTube for free. I put all that out for free, and I do this for free. The actual one-on-one time spent, I charge for that. I got to get paid on it somehow. But no pressure. Never, you don't ever have to give me $1. You can hang around, get my free Forex analysis. You can ask me questions on here. You could live trade with me on here. Damn, break back down again, huh? This can't make up its mind, man. Interesting. Very, very interesting. All the way down to the lows. Do we get a break below? Because now after this, again, it looks like it wants to come down. Interesting to watch Delta print on the 5-minute and the 1-minute. You can see we got some really, larger size Delta on the downside, negative Delta, and then same thing on the 1-minute. Multiple bars negative. Some of the positive stuff is sizable, but to me this still looks like sellers are in control. By at least they're balancing out here a little bit. Buyers and sellers, where we're getting this overlap of bars and kind of indecision on the lower time frames. But, from a structure and trend perspective, this is still down. Obviously on the day, obviously looking at higher time frames, this is still all to the downside. We came up here and tapped into this area right here, but I just I don't know what it needs to do here with this back and forth trading above and below, prior bar highs. Gets difficult for trading in the low time frames unless you're taking a really rangy approach where you're selling as it's coming up and you're buying as it's coming down. But we'll see what we get towards the end here. 340, we're still all right. I'll take some more trades if they present themselves. Man, I think this thing might run. I really do. I don't want to take the breakout here, but I do think that this is going to continue. Maybe it needs a wick back up one more. I don't know. Don't know. Overlapping price action. FOMC might play a role in that. Wait, support, who knows? We shall see, man. We shall see. Tap back up into that level, clearing this, this 1 minute price action. Man, it's tempting for another short here. Obviously, selling the breakout wouldn't have worked, right? Here we are, 80 some odd ticks push back up. Now we're up above these bars. Do we tap back in here and we get another chance? Is one tick the smallest you can go when taking a trade? Yeah, man. So I'll answer it quickly. Different instruments in the futures market will have a different tick value. If you look over here on the price scale for NASDAQ, it's priced every quarter of a point. 25, 50, 75, and then 1 whole point. Each tick is 1.25 price movement. And so in the futures market, you can only trade in increments of 1 whole contract. 1 contract here on the E-mini NASDAQ is $5. So each tick is $5 for every 1 contract that I put on. 2 is $10, 4 is $20, etc. If you go to the Dow, which I will just for demonstration's sake here, you can see here on the Dow, it's whole numbers. So each whole point movement is 1 tick in the Dow. Same deal in the E-mini Dow. It's a $5 future contract. That's the deal. That's the way this moves. So you trade in contracts instead of lots or any other sizing. You trade ticks instead of pips. It's the smallest price movement on the chart. It differs, as you can see here in the Dow versus the NASDAQ. And then they have different instruments that you can trade, which would be a smaller dollar value per tick. They have micros. So a couple different things there to consider. Instead of a spread, you just have a bid-ask price, a buy and sell. There's, this would, I guess, essentially be the spread, but it's not a spread in the sense of it's multiple ticks or multiple pips. You're essentially paying no spread when you enter a trade. The fills are very exact when you have, at least in my experience so far, like limit orders and stop orders. There's not a lot of slippage at all to be compared to the Forex market, where you can be slipped quite a bit on limit orders or stop order fills. What else is different? Yeah, so the sizing gets a little bit, interesting. You can't size exactly, as flexible as you would be maybe in like the CFD market. You're sizing in whole contracts on the mini, so your sizing of your trade is going to be, dependent on that. But to me, it's actually easier. It's almost like a little bit more straightforward. It's I know around the dollar amount that I want to risk per trade, and here's what you're going to risk. So 1 candle can make your day. Yeah, on the NASDAQ, man. You can take on some really nice profit or really nice loss on the E-mini for sure. Because this thing can move, as you can see, like hundreds of points in a day, not just hundreds of ticks. From like market open here, right at 9:30 to the low. Had you taken a sell weight right up here and held it, we're talking a 333 point move, somewhere around there, 325 points, 1,300 ticks. Maybe you have multiple contracts on, 2-3 contracts on, big movements. Now, just as quickly that can move against you, So you can make money and lose money really quick. The Dow, to me, is a more flexible instrument to trade because it's more volatile when it comes to the actual point movement that it has because it's trading at a higher dollar amount. But because the ticks are individual whole points, it's you can size smaller, quote unquote, on it. Allows you to have, if you're only looking at trading one, contract. 346, we got to tick up. Hopefully that answers the question, man. If that doesn't, let me know. Appreciate the info. Yeah, man, for sure. I mean, I can't recommend anything really on this one, like a YouTube video. I don't have a whole like what to look for in the futures market. But I'm sure they're out there. Like I would go for the more reputable sites rather than just some idiot like me yapping away on YouTube. If you're gonna do a little bit of research on it, but it's not difficult to understand. Once you get comfortable with this, the ticks versus pips. I just say everything wrong all the time. I say ticks. Oh, we're going for 40 pip stop loss instead of ticks. But once you get comfortable with it, it's the same, man. The trading's the same. The charting is the same. All of the core piece of what you're doing is the same. You just have to look at your risk management and how you're structuring that a little bit differently. The prop accounts are different for sure. The rules are different. The way that the risk is limited is definitely different. So you really have to read through all that. I could answer a bunch of questions on that. My experience with that so far, but it's tighter for sure. Now the opportunity to make money is still there, and you're actually going to get paid if you follow all the rules, in my opinion, in most cases, unlike, Forex prop firms where they're just making up rules. I don't know how I can follow a rule if they haven't made it up yet in the middle of me trading. And then when they go to apply that made up rule, they apply it in a way that is just absolutely BS and it makes it completely impossible to receive a payout. So I'm in favor of the future stuff for sure. A lot less expensive, but again, you're under tighter risk constraints when you compare them side by side. Yeah, I don't know about this one, guys. I don't know if I'm going to get another one. Here was the continuation, the sells I was taking on the way down on this. I'm happy with every one of those trades. I'm glad I closed out the little ones that I did. We got in, made ourselves available for a nice push down. If any one of those took off, like a rocket on the way down, we would have picked up a very nice win, multiple R's. You've seen it before. I'm playing it a little bit closer to the chest here with this back and forth price action, and I'm glad that I did. But yeah, right now, like this was looking, this was interesting. And then we came down below these lows. We pulled all the way down, kind of the top of this zone. This pullback up looked like a nice indication that this was now ready to drop, right? That's the structure that we see from price. Breaks down below lows, retraces, pulls back somewhere into that area, support and resistance, a supply demand, an order block, fills a gap, and then continues down. It looks like we got that right here, and then here's the continuation down that I would want to have seen all the way down to this low and maybe even below. We didn't get that. We're kind of just ticking up now. Again, I'm glad I sat this out, read this fairly right, that this type of price action, all this overlapping bars, kind of buyers stepping in, and just wicks to the downside, candle closers right around the same area. You are at a much higher potential for a push up. I don't know that we're going to get a huge move out of this, but maybe it wants to trade all the way back into the pre-market area, which would be, way up here. Or just across this price action before it continues, but this is not as clean market structure. So I'll wait. I'll hang out for another 10 and see if we decide to take a last ditch trade. But yeah, man, if heard about that BS, yes. Yeah, man, I could talk all day about Forex prop firms. It's criminal, man. It's criminals. See what we got. Yeah, if you're still on, I appreciate you being here, man. Links in the description of this video. Free Telegram discount to the prop firm that I trade with. You can trade the same prop accounts as me here on these lives for really inexpensive price, under 49 bucks. Wouldn't recommend it unless you're already profitable. You have a system that you're going to trade. Keep it on demo until you do. And of course, didn't say it earlier, not financial advice. Nothing here is financial advice. Not a suggestion or recommendation to do anything. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't have any qualifications or certifications that would make me a financial advisor. Trading's risky. Most people lose money that trade. You're probably going to lose all the money or more that you trade with. So you shouldn't listen to me or anybody else for that matter. Read my full disclaimer on my website that tells you all of that and more. All of this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just talking about what works for me, recording my live trading, my work, and yapping about stuff for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Take down and then push up. Yeah, we'll see on this one, man. I don't know. This looks like a tap back down into these highs right here, and now it wants to continue. Again, too much irregular price action and market structure for me to want to get in on any of this. Some of these trades work out, trading really aggressively. It can get pretty frustrating when you start to take back-to-back stop outs. Looks like it wants to make the push back up, but I'm just going to wait and see on this one. 352. I don't know if I'll get another trade in. But just watch price action and see what we get. I'd like to see stuff set up. I like to see market structure and price action set up in a way that allows me to structure my risk and identify my edge from a risk management perspective, and then I trade it pretty aggressively. Once it starts to consolidate back and forth, not really give me an indication or a way to structure my trades in a favorable way, I kind of back off. So you'll see a lot of my trading come kind of all at once. It can feel like, I think it can be interpreted as like over trading or jumping right back in when you get stopped out for break even, things like that. But I'm just aggressively trading the setup on a low time frame. So yeah, that's funny, man. You're on mute. Never heard disclaimer. Yeah, man. Disclaimer. No financial advice here. Nah, man. Appreciate you guys being here for sure. It's fun. I like doing these lives at the end of the day. I haven't had a banger on here in a little while. I had a really nice run this morning. One of the first couple ones I did, I had some nice trades, some really nice sell-offs. None of this would have provided a really massive move. Here's the 3 o'clock time frame where I really start paying attention. This area right here is kind of what I got. I look for big pushes up and down towards the end of the day, volume coming in, and sometimes you get it. Recently, it hasn't been super exciting towards the end of the day. Still trading it, but I'm going to come to the market every day, with the unbiased, let me see what it's going to present, and I'll take advantage of anything that it sets up. So, yeah, man. But yeah, if you're on, feel free, like the video, help me out, subscribe. I'll be live again next week, starting Wednesday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Getting off the charts for a little bit. Gonna be in the islands, man, chilling. I don't post too much lifestyle stuff, as you guys know. I probably won't, but that's the next few days for me. Be back Wednesday. Be back on Wednesday, the 25th, I think. Yeah, it looks like we're just going to get some consolidation towards the end here. We'll chill, give it another couple minutes. If you guys got any charts you want to see, any markup you want me to do, let me know. I'll jump to Forex real quick. Yeah, I'm not going to take anything else again on the 5-minute. overlapping stuff, back down, below the lows. This push up really didn't continue with momentum. So I'm not pressed about any of this stuff. A couple trades racked up. $255. I think I started with $100, right? I'd have to go back and look. Not a whole lot, not really even like one whole unit of risk for what I'm usually trading. Like not even close. So kind of like a break-even session, but no money lost, capital conserved, so that's good. I'm going to jump to Forex. I'll take a look, do some 1 hour analysis on the pairs that I've been watching. So I can share that in Telegram. Keep those boys and girls updated. Let's jump out to Euro. Yeah, let's get on the 1 hour. Here was my analysis on Euro USD. Guess what? It's going to stay about the same. Zach sold US30 at. Nice, man, nice. Here's what I'm looking at on Euro USD. Let's start on the 4 hour. If I'm looking on the 4 hour, which way is this headed, guys? Here's my technical analysis that I like to do. I don't have to do jump through hoops and 100 different markings of charts and labeling and all this, Fugazi BS to tell you that this is headed down, right? It's not headed up. It's on its way down. It's making lower lows and putting in lower highs. It's headed down on the 4 hour chart. On the 1 hour chart, it's also headed down. If you looked at this chart and told me, no, I think it's headed up, we got a problem, man. You got to go see an eye doctor or, get back to like what is up and down. We got to work on some basics. But anyway, I like to break that down because it's not hard to identify trend on whatever time frame you're looking at. As long as it's following, market structure, lower lows, lower highs. You don't have to get crazy with break of structure and change of character, where the liquidity levels are. In my opinion, you don't. As you get closer to entry and you're looking for your, structuring of risk, sure, all that's important. Take a little bit of time, figure out, what you're doing and go from there. But for this, here's what I'm looking at. Price has been continuing to push down, right? Here's a big low that was put in. Double top, came down with some serious momentum, broke below this low, continued down, pulled back a little bit, broke below this low, and is now staging a pullback. After big moves down, it likes to pull back. Price instruments, financial instruments in general. I don't know if it's going to stop right here. I don't know if it's going to come up here. I don't know if it's going to come tap this area. My arrows are not magic. I joke around and call them magical arrows. This is just in general what I'm looking for. This pullback to continue. And I usually put the elbow somewhere around the area that I'm going to start looking. If price gets up here, I'm going to start looking for a sell on selling pressure on the way down. If price just comes and does this, I don't get a trade. It's great. If price comes hard up with momentum, blows right through this zone, or we just get choppy uptrend structure where it's really not giving me an indication, I just wait. That's the benefits of using price action and market structure. Do I get faked out sometimes where it comes up here, turns hard, puts some gnarly bearish candles in, and then blasts back up? Sure, that's my losing trade. No problem. But I'm going to wait for it to get to a zone that I'm identifying as a potential area where it would find resistance for a continuation of the overall trend. Same thing I'm doing really on the 1 minute and the 5 minute, guys. Like this is not different. My approach works on any time frame really. Outside of the extremes, you get below the 1 minute or you get above the the weekly, the monthly, the extreme levels can get, you deal with a lot of other different things that come into play. So I'm going to, I'm going to share charts as I'm on. I'm going to do this live with you guys. If you're in the free Telegram, you will get a chart image from all of these. Maybe just make a note here. And I'm just going to throw these charts in, and if you want to see it, if you want to hear the actual breakdown of what I'm looking at, this is the video for it right now. That doesn't mess my screen up when I go back and forth, does it? Nah, we're good. You guys are going to get the Forex analysis. So again, GBP USD. Same deal, right? Headed down, putting in lows, even on the real high time frame. If I was super zoomed out on the 4-hour and the daily, it's on its way down. I think it's going to continue. I've got nothing below price marked as zones right now because I don't care. I'm not taking a sell just yet. I don't need to know where it's going to find support. I think it's going to pull back up here. I think we're likely to see really on both Euro and GBP either a pullback up to this zone or a pullback all the way up to where this impulsive move started. That would be tough to trade. This is kind of wide open price action above this high, so it's a little bit more dangerous than I like. But I'll be looking for this move to play out whenever it decides to. If it just dumps from here, I miss a trade. People always ask what happens when if it doesn't pull back or it doesn't give you your setup. You just move on. That's fine. There's more pairs to trade. There's more opportunities coming down the line. Trade your approach, trade your strategy, follow your guidelines. I like to say approach instead of strategy because I'm discretionary. As you could tell from the way that I trade, I don't have black and white rules. I don't have set in stone rules that I follow for my trading. I have a way that I structure risk pretty consistently. I have my guidelines, my the way that I trade, the way that I attack the markets, but I don't have set in stone rules. It says I have to wait for a 64.5% pullback and the MACD to cross over and the RSI to be overbought and oversold, and then a doji candle prints after a bullish engulfing, blah blah blah. Not helpful in my opinion. Doesn't provide any more predictive power than my dumbass rectangles and arrows on the chart do. So here's what I'm looking at on USD JPY. Now that I got on that rant, this is a major daily level. I'm not going to zoom all the way out on it. You guys can zoom out on your chart. Major set of highs that have put in. It's been on a tear since it broke above that with momentum. I'm waiting to see if it pulls back to this area. I think a lot of people are. Again, it doesn't have to stop right here. It could pull all the way back down. It could pull somewhere down, not even tap this area, but I'm waiting for around this set of highs. I think it's unlikely to just continue to the moon without coming back down here on a pretty big retracement and then continuing up from here. That's just the way that market structure typically functions. But market's unpredictable. It doesn't have to do that. It can go 1,000 ticks from pips from here. Let's get the team in Telegram set up. USD. Again, if you're not in the Telegram where I'm sending this stuff out, feel free to join. Link is in the description of this video. It's free. Never charge for Telegram. GBP JPY, a lot less clear. I don't like GBP JPY right now. I'm probably not even going to send a chart on this one. It's chopping around a bit at this area. Yeah, I'm going to go no chart for GBP JPY. I'm going to wait for it to get above this area here or below this area here. I want to see a continuation. I think it's getting pulled in both directions from the pound and the yen. Yeah, getting pulled in both directions from GBP and JPY. The movement up on one and down on the other. Yeah, I'm going to leave this one alone. Make a note. Actually, I'll just take the chart and show what I'm looking at. If you guys got a chart you want me to look at, let me know. Now is your chance for some basic analysis. USD CAD was above highs and broke. Yeah, this thing kept going. This is a different broker that shows volume, but I don't really care about any of this down here. Yeah, man. Here was the zone that I was watching. This area of highs right here, this resistance area. I was waiting for this arrow. You could see from way back here. I still haven't touched it. Break above, pull back down, and then a continuation up. We didn't really get that. If you look on the 1 hour, we just got a break above. This was about the pullback that it gave us, and then a continuation up. I had an alert marked at this zone once we broke above, but did not get the trade. So here's an example of a missed setup, but it's been on a tear up really all the way up towards high. So I'm going to leave this one be for now as well. Just focus on these three, some major pairs. Wait to see what sets up on them. I do go through a handful of other pairs, take a look for swing trading, but to be honest with you, I've been much more focused on futures. My boys in the futures market. I've been looking at swinging overnight trades on NASDAQ, looking at the 15-minute, the 1 hour, deciding where price may head to, a zone it might tap into, a gap it might fill, and just set a pretty wide stop loss on it and let it run. And I mean overnight after after like 6-7 o'clock p.m. Eastern, I'd be looking to enter a trade after the next session opens up. So I'm going to leave this bad boy here. Again, I won't be on again until next week. Wednesday, that's my game plan. If I'm alive, if I make it, don't get hit by a bus or a plane crash by then. If that happens, somebody else jump on. You guys can analyze together. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'll be back on. Hop in the free Telegram, like the video, subscribe, help me out if you found some value here. If not, and you just want to hang out and not like anything, that's cool. I don't care. You don't need anything from you. We can do this stuff, and you can watch how I work for free. All good. Discount again in the description of this video for Top Step if you want to trade the same accounts. Whoa, I want to do that. If you want to trade the same accounts that I trade, got to bounce. I'll see you next week, bro. Top Step discount, and Instagram is on there as well. I post memes and stuff on there. Have some fun, and you can stay updated with everything that I'm doing when I'm giving away prop firm accounts, when I'm having special deals running with my paid programs, which I do right now, where I'm giving out a free week. All that info in Telegram and on Instagram as well. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. Have a nice weekend. I know it's early in the week. Finish off the week strong. Have a nice weekend. Spend some time with family, with friends, with loved ones, with animals, with yourself. Just get outside, enjoy nature, touch some grass, touch some dirt. You don't have to be rich in money to be wealthy in your soul and your spirit, man. Find happiness and peace. I know it's easy to say when I do have some money, but I didn't always have money. So try to find some peace, try to find some tranquility, try to find something that makes you happy, even if it's just taking a walk outside by yourself and calming your mind. I'll leave you guys with that. Thank you again for being here. I will see you next week where we'll be making some money.